What's going on, you guys? It's Logan here with Logan's Lessons, back at it with yet another guitar tutorial for you. Today we're going to be learning I Need You to Be Wrong by Switchfoot. Their new single's out and their album is coming. I'm so freaking excited, guys. Switchfoot has been one of my favorite bands basically my entire life since I started listening to music, and I love every single one of their records. Native Tongue dropped about late 2018, 2019, and that has been one of my go-to albums since. I'm sure this one's gonna be really sick too. Before we get started, I just wanted to mention that I do offer private one-on-one online lessons, so if you're interested in that, let me know. My email will be down in the description box below. Now that all that's out of the way, let's get to it. You're watching Logan's Lessons. The majority of the song does not stay consistent chord-wise, but we'll just take it from each section from the intro going on to the end of the song. I'll leave timestamps down in the description box so you can reference specific sections of the song in case you forget or something. So we'll start with the main riff, or what is being played during the verses and the intro of the song. We're going to be starting with a G minor chord. You're going to do this by barring your third fret of all of your strings with your first finger. Then you're going to take your third finger, your ring finger, and put it on the 5th fret of your A string, and your pinky is going to be right below that on the 5th fret of your D. It should sound like that. So as far as picking pattern goes, we're going to be putting our thumb on our E string, our low E string. And then I like to put my first finger on the D string and my middle finger on the G string. And you're going to play, every time you play your D and your G string, they're going to be played together. So the pattern is your thumb, then 3 of your first and second fingers, and then your thumb, and then these 2 fingers again. So like that. That is the overarching picking pattern. So then you're just going to move your first finger down a string so you leave the open E string exposed, and take your third finger off, your ring finger. So far we have. Notice that the picking pattern stays exactly the same. Then you're going to come up and you're going to put your third finger on the 3rd fret of your E string. Your pinky is going to be below that on the 3rd fret of your G string. And your first finger is going to come up on the 1st fret of your D. Right? So that's the 3rd chord. So far we have. Then we're just going to slide our pinky finger down a fret, and you're going to play between the A and the D and G. The only thing that changes there on your right hand is that your thumb comes down a string. So the whole thing in its entirety goes like this. And that repeats. So that 3rd chord I had trouble with. You might have trouble with it, you might not, but I will give you a tip that I found helpful. When you're going to change to that 3rd chord, I'd put my 3rd finger down first, as it is the first note you hit, and then worry about your first finger and your pinky. Now you are gonna have to get that first finger and that pinky on there fairly quickly, but it'll buy you a little bit of time for what it's worth. Now let's talk about the chorus. The chorus changes each time, so we'll take this segment of the video to go through each of the different alternatives before worrying about the bridge. We will go in chronological order, so the first chorus first. You're going to be starting with a G chord, which is just like the chord we did at the beginning of the song, which is a G minor chord, but you're going to put your middle finger down on the 4th fret of your G string. So bar the 3rd fret, put your 3rd finger on the 5th fret of your A string, your pinky right below that on the 5th fret of your D, and your middle finger is going to be on the 4th fret of your G. That's a G chord. So right after this, in every single chorus, it'll go straight to a G minor, so you just lift that up for the 2nd chord. The strumming pattern will be a down, down, up, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. That keeps going, you know? So the chords will be G to G minor to an A minor, which is going to be played by putting your middle finger on the 2nd fret of your D string, your 3rd finger right below that on the 2nd fret of your G, and your first finger on the 1st fret of your B string. It should sound like that. You'll be playing your 5th string downward, so the 2nd string from your face. So we have a G to G minor to A minor to C minor. And the C minor is going to be accomplished by moving that G major chord, our first chord of our chorus. Just move everything down a string. Okay, so we have G to G minor, A minor, C minor, back to G to G minor, A minor, and this is where things change. We're going to go to a D minor. A D minor is going to be accomplished by putting your middle finger on the 2nd fret of your G string, your 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of your B, and your 1st finger on the 1st fret of your high E string. Should sound like that. So the 2nd time through the 1st chorus, we're going G, G minor, A minor, to D minor. Let's play what we have up to that point so far. We have a G, G minor, A minor, to C minor, G, G minor, A minor, D minor. Great, so far all you need to remember is that for the first time through the 1st chorus, you have a C minor as the last chord, and the 2nd time through the 1st chorus, you have a D minor as the last chord. Now on the last line of the chorus, things get a little bit more complicated, unfortunately. We're going to start with that G. You're only going to strum it once. Then you're going to go down to an F minor, which is going to be like our G minor, just down 2 frets. So you're going to be barring the 1st fret of all of your strings. Your 3rd finger is going to be on the 3rd fret of your A, and your pinky is going to be on the 3rd fret of your D. Then, easily enough, we're just going to slide these 2 fingers down a fret. That's an E minor chord. You're going to take your 1st finger off, by the way. So we have a G, F minor, E minor. Following so far? Cool. Then we're going to a B major chord, which is going to be accomplished by barring the 4th fret of your D, G, and B strings and be putting your 1st finger on the 2nd fret of your A string. So we have G, F minor, E minor, B, then to a C sharp minor chord, which is going to be like that C minor we were just talking about, but move it up a fret. So you're going to be putting your 1st finger on the 4th fret of your A string, your 3rd finger on the 6th fret of your D, your pinky finger is going to be on the 6th fret of your G string, and your middle finger will be on the 5th fret of your B string. Now, it is worthy to note that you do not have to be barring the 4th fret. Don't worry about that. You'll be glad to know this is the last chord of the 1st chorus. We're just going to be sliding this entire shape back down to a C minor. So for that turnaround at the end, we're going from a G to F minor to E minor, B, C sharp minor. You're going to hold that for a minute, then to C minor. Now to be as accurate to the recording as possible, I like to emphasize the A and the B strings with my thumb and my 3rd finger for those last 2 chords. Then we're back into the verse. You get the point. Now the 2nd chorus. The only thing that changes from here versus the 1st chorus is that you don't go to the C minor or D minor. Both times you just go to an F chord. I'll show you an F chord right now. You're going to put your 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of your D string, your middle finger on the 2nd fret of your G, and your 1st finger on the 1st fret of your B. So the chorus will sound like this. Into the bridge. We'll get to the bridge here in a second. Let's just grab the last chorus first. So for the last chorus, both of the ending chords of the first 2 lines are going to be C minor. There's not going to be a D minor, there's not going to be an F. It's going to be a G to G minor, A minor, C minor, G, don't have the normal turnaround like we do in the other choruses. Instead, we're going G to C over E, which is like what we were doing here, but I prefer to play it in this context as a regular C chord, which you're going to do by putting your third finger on the third fret of your A string, your middle finger on the second fret of your D string, and your first finger on the first fret of your B, and you just let the open E string ring out. So we have a G, C over E, to A minor, and then C minor, back to G. And that's the end of the song. So just remember that that last like outro piece, or whatever you want to call it, is G, C over E, A minor, C minor, and you end on G. Now let's get the bridge. So for the bridge, the first chord we're gonna do is a G chord. You can play it the way we have been the whole time, but I find it easiest to play it like a normal G chord for this section. But if you wanted to play it this way, all you'd have to do is be putting your middle finger on the third fret of your E string, your first finger on the second fret of your A, your third and pinky fingers are on the third fret of your B and E respectively. Then you go to an E minor chord, which we already learned. It was from the F minor to this one, how we learned it. You can either do it with your third and your pinky fingers on the second fret of your A and your D, or you can put your middle finger on the second fret of your A and your third finger on the second fret of your D string. So we have a G. The strumming pattern is exactly the same as the chorus, by the way. So you're going from that G to E minor to a B major chord, which we already learned. And it plays the B major chord twice. Then you go to a G to G minor instead of E minor to B, and you stay on B again. So that's what I would consider the interlude. Let's just go over that one more time. We have a G to E minor to B, and you stay on B. G, G minor, and B, and you stay on B. Coming from here, we have what I would consider really the bridge, where it has a bunch of ahs in it, and you just slide this shape down a fret. It's called a B flat. You play it twice, and then you slide up to a C minor chord, which you also play twice. And then you go back right into the intro riff. Get my point? Last chorus, and then the outro. You end it. I hope this tutorial has been super-de-duperly helpful for you. If it has, please remember to like and subscribe and hit that bell icon so you know when I release other guitar tutorials. Now, if you have a question for me, be sure to comment it down below. I will be reading and responding to each one of those. I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful day. You have been watching Logan's Lessons. Peace.